Hi, my name is Holly, and I grew up in Southern California. We spent summers at Newport Beach, and we're in the sun constantly. I'm old enough that we didn't have sunscreen. Back then we used cocoa butter, coconut oil, and my parents didn't know that there was such a thing as umbrellas, so we laid out on the beach and were burned almost every time we were there. I can't stress enough that you please use your sunscreen. Use it every day. Put it on your kids. Check your kids regularly. Take them to the doctor. Have Dr. Scheel look at them. There's nobody better than Dr. Scheel. I've been to so many dermatologists over the years who look at you, and even some here locally in Kona, that look at you with your front and back, and they don't make a note of where your moles are, how large they are, what type they are. They don't take any pictures of them. So even though they may see them and they may be fine, if you wait a year later, Dr. Scheel had not seen me for a short period of time, and she looked and on my shoulder said, "That has changed." She took it off. They were 2 pre-melanomas. I've had those 2 pre-melanomas. I had the very first melanoma I had was in 2006. It did not look like anything. A doctor from the mainland had looked at it and said, "It's fine." A couple of months later, I was seeing him twice a year, but a couple of months later, my dog, little Min Pin, kept licking. It was below my knee, on my leg, and kept licking at my leg and looking at it, and I could see it hadn't changed, but I had my friend who was a dermatologist look at it, and he said, "It really hasn't changed, but if your dog wants it off, I want it off." And he took it off, and it was a stage 1 melanoma. And since then, I've been seen by multiple doctors, and I was told by one of them here on the island, I was seeing Dr. Scheel twice a year, another dermatologist twice a year, and the other dermatologist looked at something I wanted him to look on my back, and I was told it wasn't a melanoma, and that was the good news. And I said, "Is it something else?" And she said, "No, it's not anything, it's fine." And I came to the free screening that was done in May several years ago, multiple years ago, and they looked at it and right away said, "This is a squamous cell and it needs to come off right now." And it was removed, and it was a squamous cell, but the other doctor who looked at it didn't think it was anything. Dr. Scheel is the gold standard of any dermatologist I've ever been to. She looks at them, measures them, charts them, and makes note of them so that when they change a year later or 3 months later, she knows they've changed and she knows something needs to be done about it.
I had melanoma on my forearm. I'm on the ocean a lot, once or twice a day, doing outrigger paddling. And so I'm in the bright sun. I wear sunscreen every day now. Put it on first thing before I go on the ocean at 6:30. And that's at the advice of Dr. Scheel, who found the melanoma on my arm and got it off. She's really thorough, and I guess I trust her to watch over my body to make sure I don't get any more bad news. You got free sunscreen by just being part of this little program. So I really recommend Dr. Scheel. She is extremely thorough, the best dermatologist that I've experienced. Thanks.
Being born and raised in Hawaii, we grew up without a lot of sunscreen. We would lay out in the sun and put coconut oil, and probably suffered several severe burns. And that has grown into maturity in my life with a couple of melanomas, one on my shoulder, one on my arm, squamous on my wrist, 2 on my leg. And it's just good to get in to see your dermatologist and get your skin checked here in Hawaii.